I certainly did not have the Minnesota Timberwolves making the Western Conference Finals on my NBA bingo card. If you had told me at the beginning of the season in October that Minnesota would be making the conference finals, my question would be, well, who did they trade for? Like, did they trade for Devin Booker? Did they trade for Brandon Ingram? Because there's no way that this current roster with a front court of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns could actually make the conference finals. Well, it is possible. The Minnesota Timberwolves are coming off a very exciting 7-game series against the defending champion Denver Nuggets. This has definitely been the most fun series of the NBA playoffs. It was a hard-fought series. They beat a very quality basketball team. There was a lot of back and forth. We didn't know if the Nuggets or the Timberwolves were going to win, but it ended up being a super rewarding series for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I am so happy for them. I'm happy for the city of Minneapolis, the state of Minnesota. But can we just talk about Anthony Edwards? Because Anthony Edwards is on another level right now. He has stepped up his game so much in the postseason. I'm convinced he may just be Michael Jordan reincarnate. Like, is he Michael Jordan's long-lost son or something? Anthony Edwards has averaged 28.9 points a game this postseason, and in the Nuggets series, he scored 43 in Game 1, 27 in Game 2, 44 in Game 4, and 27 in Game 6. He has been the leader, the alpha of this team. I'm happy, man. I am so happy because Minnesota fans have been in purgatory since the Kevin Garnett days. I mean, their fans have been true, real ones. They have stuck it out through disaster. Then you had a slight glimmer of hope with like Kevin Love in the mid-2010s. And then that never really got anything going. You didn't even make the playoffs. So then, like, scratch that. Send him to Cleveland. Bring in Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. That doesn't really work either. So then you decide to go all in. Bring over Tom Thibodeau. Bring Jimmy Butler from Chicago. And the Wolves finally make the playoffs, but then they get knocked out early. It just seemed to be like the Timberwolves were stuck in mid to trash forever and that they were never going to get out of that. And even at the start of Anthony Edwards' career back in like 2020, 2021, even 2022, the future looked kind of bleak. Like, yeah, Ant is nice, Cat is nice, but there's little defense inside. So the Wolves pay a lot in a trade to snag Rudy Gobert, which is seen as a questionable move. It seemed like they kind of overpaid for that, but now it works. This team is so solid from top to bottom. I mean, they really have it all. They have very few weaknesses. They have the star in Anthony Edwards. They have the sidekick in Karl Anthony Towns, a true point guard in Mike Conley, and I'm so happy for Mike Conley, dude. Like, he truly deserves this. He has been such a trooper throughout his time in the league. He's been a great vet. I mean, he really deserves what he's getting right now. You've got the interior presence with Rudy Gobert. You've got a good supporting cast around these guys with like Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You have the great coach. I mean, there really isn't that many weaknesses. And I believe they are the heavy favorites to win out west. I expect the Wolves to end up beating Dallas maybe in 6 games or so and playing the Boston Celtics from the East in the NBA Finals. And for the sake of Minnesota fans, and really just for the sake of NBA fans to not have to hear Celtics fans' mouths of Boston winning a championship, I really hope that Minnesota wins a ring. Like, that would be so huge. It would officially lift the curse set by David Kahn and his awful work as GM. But now, Tim Connelly and head coach David Finch, they're doing a great job. They have rebuilt this group. I am so happy for them. I hope to see Minnesota continue to do very well against Dallas. But honestly, I just want to see a really good series because this year's playoffs has been so much fun. I just want to see more quality basketball.